And no, this is how you guys love to wake up every morning to my voice, the soothing sounds. All right, so what are we seeing this morning? What's our bias? Let's go back to the basics really quick. What's our bias this morning?
It looks like it's trying to go down, but hard to say anymore.
Even on the 5 minutes down.
Got some downers coming in.
Yeah, but it's coming on a 1 hour support, so it's like,
Okay. Megan says, can we go up and then down?
And then it'll go sideways.
Mm-hmm. It's at current support. All right. So should we not trade then? Let's just not trade. I'm just kidding. Definitely. So if you kind of scroll out, obviously we've been on this uptrend for a while, right? And sorry, we've been on this uptrend for a little bit, and
like 3 price cycles down.
yeah, exactly. So we've gone down. Again, everybody's saying it's on support. I don't know if it bounces, if it's going to go up and cross this or even that in our session today, but we need to be cognizant of these areas. Really, these are areas where if it crosses any one of these areas, you could be in. It could turn your bias, right? So, like it's a little bit difficult to say what should we be trading, right? If we don't have confirmation, we can only guess to see what it might do. And we'll take our best guess and trade that. And we'll look for some wobble situations where we can just peel off a little bit of profit here, a little bit of profit there. And then we'll look for maybe some high value, high probability trade targets that we could just, take advantage of. So like right now, I love the fact that we got, 5 up, 5 down. The only thing that I will say is that any time that you're trading where you kind of are in a breakout situation or you don't have a lot of data to the left of you, you don't know really where that next support is on the 1 minute chart, like you got to go back a while, then you want to keep it light because it could bounce, go up, or it could continue its run down. So if you're going to wobble in here, like playing the ups and the downs, you got to understand at some point, if it breaks down, it could run on you. And if it breaks up, it will go back into support and resistance areas. And so I would rather trade light in here. If you do trade with sells, it'll be easier to fix your sells than it'll be easier to fix your buys. Meaning that if you decide to place some sells on and it goes against you up into here, well, you kind of know where your action points are, right? If you're into buys and it breaks down and it keeps running all the way down, it might be harder to fix those buys. And so when I get into situations like this, I tend to look for sell opportunities or the direction that is easier to fix if it goes against me. So if that makes sense. So I am going to do just that. I'm going to look to jump in on an opportunity to continue the sell. But not right now because it's at the end of a price cycle. So I'd wait for at least a pullback up 50% and see if it fells the 50% mark. But if you happen to see this go up like that, that would have been a really good place to put some sells on. So that's my analysis of at the very least. Still waiting. Still waiting, market. Just gonna have my finger over the correct direction I want to get into. I don't make that mistake. It's just subconsciously I make that mistake when you trade two different platforms and you're buy and seller in two different places. So if I'm like, oh, just subconsciously I've made that mistake a few times. You guys missed a great presentation from, what's your full name? Pati Kulesa. Follow for your mama. Don't call me late for dinner. Follow.
Thanks for butchering my name.
What's your full name? Say it again.
Pati Pele Kulesa Tuiofilua Falo.
Pate Bele Kulesa Tuyakaluku. Follow.
Oh boy.
That's actually pretty close there.
He did a great presentation yesterday on the psychology of trading, and
Thanks.
it was awesome. So
Well, and the thing is that it's interesting because no matter what level you are at, there's always an element of that. And obviously, being still feel like novice, it's funny what one knows and doing are two different things.
that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So even though I'm aware of it, I'm reading it, it's like, well, I know it, but why I'm not doing it? And
Yeah.
that's the process.
Yeah, that's kind of like, you got to learn. You can learn it, but until you execute, you don't know it, right?
Remember back in the, maybe for those that's been around and know the cartoons, and knowing is half the battle.
Hey,
Where's that coming from?
I know it, so I'm going to let somebody else say it because I know it.
Who knows that one?
I say that all the time.
Come on, Josh, you should know. And knowing is half the battle. It's like the slogan that they do at the end of every show. It's how I learned English, by the way. One of the ways I learned English watching cartoons. But it's one of my favorite ones. Can anybody know that? Or anybody knows that part?
I
don't think anybody. Oh,
give
come
you-
on, somebody does.
Oh, Nick.
Hey, Nick, you are the man.
G.I. Joe. I was going to say, it's the greatest American hero.
Go, Joe. Nick, you're the man. But yeah, it's one of my favorite shows. But
Yeah.
knowing is half the battle.
We've come a long way from at the end of cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, having a moral or a learning lesson for
Dude.
kids.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that was it because I remember, we still had a black and white TV, and I remember every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I would be up at 5:30, get my toast, and I'll get ready to watch it. And I was like 10 years old. But yeah, the morals now, unfortunately, the world's got different.
Yeah, it's come a long way from that. I used to remember that after every cartoon that always said, now kids, pay attention, drugs are not good. All right, so again, I'll just continue to follow this until it breaks above that. But no, good job, cool. So back to that was really good. I'll try to get that up later today.
Is it recorded
It was.
on Discord?
It's not up yet.
Oh,
So I went to bed after he was done. So
I had a meeting. I couldn't be there.
but the only thing that I'm worried about, and I'll just say this in case anybody else has the opportunity, is that he showed a YouTube video on his presentation, and if
That's
I
right,
post
huh?
it, yeah, if I post it to YouTube may not like it because you're posting somebody else's content, or they're really strict about that. If you have like music in the background, like I used to do that when Sean would do his lives and we'd play some music, and then all of a sudden we couldn't post it because we had music in the background. Like, nope,
Can
can't
you
do that.
can you cut that part and reference it?
Can, but it was really a good part. So,
Yeah, that was really good.
So that's the only thing I was concerned about. Like I've seen people on YouTube where if they're gonna do something like that, where they're gonna talk about somebody else's video, there's like a rule that you can only play it for like 8 seconds and comment on it, then you can play it again or comment over the entire thing so that the algorithms of YouTube doesn't pick up like word for word or sound for sound. But that's all good. Okay, so we got this little V forming right here with a little bit of directional wicks, or like, what are we going to do here? So usually that means that it's done kind of going down, and you'll try and get a little bit of a push higher. So with that, that means that I need to probably just kind of look to break even on these trades as it pushes higher. And so I'll just get into a little bit more of a layer stack so that I can fix these trades here. So it doesn't have to go, so just on the next price cycle down, I can just kind of fix these trades. And again, I'll still look at the action point and see if it decides, hey, it's a price cycle down, it's a price cycle up, but we're still going to test the lows. But I am going to lighten some of my trades here. So get into my worst losses. Spelling to really having a hard time breaking that. All right, if it holds this, I may look to get into some buys, but we'll see if it holds. We got 30 seconds left on that candle. Now I got to move this break-even line up just a little bit more. Do not want to do that. Okay, got the hold. I'm just waiting for a price cycle down, and I'll get out of everything. I'm in a little too heavy than I want to be, because I was hitting the heavy trade situation, not the light trade situation. But I'm still like a price cycle away from fixing these.
You know, when you have layers on, it'd be nice to have an audio function like what Khalid has on here, where you can close out all your longs or your shorts and all that in one button, you know?
You can. You just have to turn it on.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. So if you go to settings and you enable the close all button,
Mhm.
then when you hit the close all, it asks you if you want to close your buyers or your cells or your lungs.
I got to figure that out then.
But you have to do it every time, David, right?
You can turn it on and leave it on, but I don't like it, so I usually have it off. It's not it's not as quick and easy as just a button that says close longs, close shorts.
Right.
There's a few other steps. Good morning, Patricia. Glad to have you.
Hey, I was wondering, Kul, could you send the on Discord the link to the YouTube video?
The one that was last night?
Yeah.
Oh, David's going to put it up.
I mean, but the link to the YouTube video, not with your video embedded in the YouTube video embedded in yours.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know how to do that, or maybe I do and I don't. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean just the link to the YouTube video on itself, not
the Discord.
No, because I mean your video has the YouTube video embedded into it, right? Because it's the recording from yesterday.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. Because that's what David was mentioning that could have a problem.
Oh, he wants the full one.
Right.
So it's maybe not you could send the Zoom link, not the YouTube.
Did they clip it or what?
Yeah, you have that, Dave, I think.
I do.
Yeah,
I
well,
have
I'll look for it on Discord.
I have the power. What's that from?
Hey, Legend of Greystar. With the power of Greystar.
Since we're quoting Saturday morning cartoons.
They were the best. There were some good cartoons back in the day. Nowadays, it's like junk, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like, Disney used to be good. It suck now. Man, I remember I had boxes of cartoons, comic books.
Wow.
They would probably be worth thousands now had I kept them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember when I first got my those the records, what do you call it? The records. And my first album was Air Supply.
All out of love. Cool.
it was those finger hat thing that you get. And here's a kid. I didn't even know anything. I just ordered it.
Did you do the you did, didn't you? You did the 10 CDs for a penny?
Yeah, that's what I got. I didn't know I was a kid, man. I got the CD and we had a record player and I played it and it was like, yeah.
Yeah, and Zimmer,
Yeah.
I think we all did.
Why did they? No. I mean, I was just a kid, man. There were some good love songs.
What? I can get 10 CDs for 1 penny? Plus $50 shipping and handling. Yeah, now there you go, Nick. The Top Gun. That's so much better than Air Supply being your first one.
That's some good love song in Air Supply, man. I'm telling you.
Yes.
It was a 12-year-old kid, no, anyway.
Yeah.
Are they going to post that video, I guess?
I will when I get it might be a little later.
Yeah, later today.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
But for sure.
Not nagging you.
I went to bed last night instead of editing it.
Oh, no worries. I'll see you tomorrow. It's the weekend.
So I'll catch you, David. So Sean always has a two pip take profit in his trading. Is that correct?
Yeah, generally. When he's trading live, for sure.
Kenny Loggins, Nick. Yep.
Love it. Free Dog Night. Yes. So was that a comment or a question?
Either. I guess
don't know what the
I'm
question
just trying
is.
I'm trying to. I mean, I think I understand because I mean, when you get a lot of orders in with and get hitting those and keep coming back for more, and I'm trying to, I guess when I do a zero take profit and take it out as I want to, because sometimes it can run, right? Sometimes, and it's one of those shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I don't want to be in that mindset.
I think it's definitely harder to trade without take profits.
Yeah.
It's harder to do that because you have to make the decision to take it, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to put a 2 pip take profit, I'd have to make sure that there was 2 pips of range up here, and then I'd be like, you know what? I don't like it on over that, so I'd rather just take it before it hits that, but that doesn't give me 2 pips. So you end up having to see if it's going to bypass that and go to the next one anyways, because there's not enough meat on the bone to take less than 2 pips, especially with commissions and or spreads.
Yeah.
So I have to go to the next level, but then if it does break above this, it could run. So I'm like, well, might as well not have a take profit on and take it out at the action point. At least that's my logic. But there's been many times where the market does allow you to do take profit. Like if we're getting candles that are 4 or 5 pip candles instead of candles, I'll be doing 2 pip take profits all day long.
So it's easier with a take profit than without. That's your conclusion.
Absolutely, because it goes back to that mindset.
Now he tells me.
You still have to know where to put your take profit.
Right.
Like right here. And sometimes if you don't know where to take your take profit, when you're trading without a take profit, it can get you in trouble. Meaning you could have took your profit, but you didn't. And because you didn't, now it's no longer profit.
Right.
Have you ever been there, done that?
No, never, ever.
Well, take profit ensures that you get profit and you stack it and put it in the bank, so it's never a bad thing to put it in the bank. Yeah, I don't recommend people trading without take profits if you're just starting out.
On this one right here, we have the spread is pretty much low, not the 1 and 1.5 that was before. This is a different version of LMFX or MT4.
Yeah, so I opened up this account last week, this demo account, because I wanted to try it out. So it's the zero spread account that they offer, but they have commissions. So you still have to cover your $1.60 commission on
the equivalent. So between spread and this, the commission would probably be better, yeah? Or not really?
Yeah, the commissions are lower, but it's the same. So if I were to put one trade on at 0.40, my commissions would be, $3.20 on that one trade. So your commissions are still the same no matter the position size. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So case in point, why I don't trade with take profits. It was a great example right there of why I don't trade with take profits, because you never know when that's going to happen. But if you had a 2 pip take profit, I wouldn't have been able to capitalize on that
Sure.
run up, right?
Yeah.
However, you do have to know when to take them. And if you sat here and said, "Ooh, it's running, it could run up some more," and then all of a sudden it shoots back, and you just lost that opportunity.
Did you read my mind a couple of days ago?
Yes, but it was scary, and I'm still recovering. My therapist says I shouldn't do that anymore. I'm just kidding. Cool.
Imagine if we have the ability to read other people's
Oh
mind.
no,
This world
thank
would be
you.
over.
That is not the superpower that I would want.
No. Remember that one movie where that guy had was it Gibson? No, Gibson. You could read
Oh
women's
yeah,
mind.
what women want. I like that movie. I like that movie. I finally understood women. Just kidding. I mean, really, I'm kidding.
On a
That's
personal
all-
note.
Yeah.
On a personal note, which you know me, right? Obviously, Julie, my late wife, when she passed away, and then I was back into the dating scene, and I met Myrna, and I was like, man, after marrying for 21 years, I know women. I felt comfortable. Boy, was I wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think about that sometimes, like what my boys are going through in today's world with the dating scene as it is so different. Like COVID jacked up our youth, man. COVID really did a number on the social interactions of kids. Like there's so many kids nowadays that just get that high anxiety just going to school, and it used to be like, well, school's never easy as a social, but you didn't have a choice. Now you have choices. But it's like,
or is it more like social media and dating apps and Tinder and stuff?
no, I meant like when they got away from school and didn't go to school, didn't have that. The kids that were like introverts became more of an introvert, and it was really difficult to bring them back from that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, we're supposed to be this way now. Like the world has taught us that we need to be this way, and that's very impressionable. Like I deal with the youth in my neighborhood at church, and I see that all the time. Like they're just like, I can't go to school, and I'm struggling, and all this stuff. You know, just and I do put my finger back to that when they just didn't go to school for a couple of years, right? And my boys, like, well, one of my kids, his whole junior and senior year was COVID, and so
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, that now he's like in the dating scene, and like, what do you do? It's like, I wouldn't know how to meet a girl, especially if you're not the type of guy that can just walk up and talk to a girl that you think is cute, because a lot of guys struggle with that. But it's like just so difficult nowadays. All right.
It's all dating apps now. You don't have to.
But still,
anyone by face. It's all dating apps.
But still, you have to be aggressive on there to get noticed. Like from a guy's perspective, from a girl's perspective, they get dinged all the time, and then they're like never respond. I don't know. This is just what my I'm not in that world, but I'm just looking through it from the lens of what my boys are going through on the dating app stuff.
Tell them to boast about their ROI. Put like pictures of them like on the charts.
Yeah.
No, seriously, please do it. And it's like, report back to me how it goes.
Made $1,000 in 10 minutes today.
On the charts.
What'd you do?
Full of $100 bills. Like you have to kind of get the right picture. Like with a handful of like dollar bills, you know, like the guys do. Yeah. $100 bills, sorry, and like on the charts, like pointed like, yeah, and then like put it on the picture, like put the text on the picture like a meme, like, you know, like 5% gain today. See how that goes. Yeah. Put that on Tinder, see how that goes.
Yeah. Yes. I never leave my room.
Well, yeah, well, but you're making money while you're there.
Exactly.
That's messy.
All right, so because of that move, it could potentially start to move higher because you're going to break this right here, which is great, which is fine. But because of this move, we'll see if we can't get a price cycle down, and then I'll start building into some buys because this move just shot up really. Should just try to, before it breaks this, it should try to come down, and looking for it just to come down a little bit. What's that from? Cool.
Mario.
It's me, I'm Mario.
Should have like an 80s trivia or something.
Yeah, exactly. Tricio, how's the weather out there in Cancun?
It was rainy 2 days ago, but then yesterday and today, this is the best time of the year, actually, climate-wise.
Yeah, it's not too hot.
It's not too hot, and then you get like scattered clouds that when you leave here are very welcome. So yeah, this is the best time of the year.
Is that when you get a lot of tourists during this time of year, like the holidays, stuff like that, or is it still summer? That's massive.
No. The worst times of the year, tourist-wise, I mean, the best to come here, down here, really, September, October, November. And then craziness starts in December, and we get a lot of tourism December all the way till May. That's the highest season.
Sure.
So again, David, is it going to go up or down?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
just kidding. I think we're going to play. It looked like it wants to play in this range over here. So as long as it plays in that range, I'm looking for what I would like, not what I think is going to happen. But what I'd like is just to get some, consolidation and stay in a range instead of what we've been doing is not having any range. Like there's no ranges really. It's been up and down.
Right,
So it's been breakouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I anticipate is going to happen is if it tests this, it'll break out, right? If it tests this, it'll break out. I'm hoping that we just kind of get in a range for, maybe 10, 20 minutes and gobble up some good profits. But the market has shown in the past, this week is that it just looks for an opportunity to break out and then does, right? So
now the overall trend is still upwards, but it cannot go up forever, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that would be, again, that's forecasting. So to say something like that, I don't wouldn't put a lot of stock into it because I said that and I said it surely can't go lower than $1.
Right. Of course, Dave.
Hasn't ever done that before. Right. So goes back to psychology of trading. Don't don't put it in a box, right?
Right.
Because of that, I'm going to start peeling off some of these, popping off some of these losses here. Taking some of the losses. I'll just start buying in.
So you have sells and buys now.
I do.
Okay. So you're watching
For-
both.
Yeah, looking for an opportunity to get out of one or the other. So I took that to help me, took that long right there, just because I saw this kind of bounce right there, to
But-
help me negate some of those losses that I took.
But this is not hedging, right?
No, it's just saw an opportunity, so I took it,
Okay.
right? Inside of managing other trades.
Mhm.
And so I took that $12 loss. So negated that loss with just a quick up move.
You know, Dave, one of the other thing I didn't cover last night, and I know there's a lot, was he was talking about intuition. You know, I know when we refer to the ladies as sixth sense, that you will have a feel, you'll have a feel for the game, and I think you refer to that in football and basketball and all that. They just have a feel for it, right? Which is it's all mental, but it's just come from experience and all the highs and lows and everything you have, and then you get into that zone, right? And it's almost like you're in sync with the market for that time period or what have you.
Right. For
And
sure.
that's something you can't teach. That just comes from over time, right?
Right.
All right. Let this mother run. I was able to get in.
Good. I was on the opposite side of that, so that's all good. So what I'm doing here is just making sure that I'm breaking even.
I got out too early on that stall, though. Oh, well.
Position size here. These are runners. We've got this big run right here of 30 pips with only a 5-pip pullback in between. So it's a runner. You're running away, are you? For me on these trades, I'm probably going to start just needing a little bit of a pull down, start pilling. See if we get that. If it struggles to pass this 50% of this bar, then I'll just kind of close out everything and look for higher probability trade setups.
There's your 50%.
Mm-hmm. Seeing what the action is. Just close it. Those. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build into a position to break the top of here for another run. But I'll wait. Kind of get that reset to 0. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to let my dog out real quick. Bye. All right. How's everybody doing? Checking in. There's some people that are doing good. Everybody doing good out there?
Yeah. Doing all right. Just drawing down like 0.25%.
Good. All right. So just waiting for this pop up, see if we get that to hold and see if we can get a break to the high side. If that happens, I'll probably secure this layer, then look to build into another layer. I'm going to do that. Just secure this right below that. So I'll go with 1, 2, 3. Other way around. This is what I want.
So this will be the second attempt to break.
I'm looking for it to not to cross this like support right here. But if
Mhm.
it does, then it could run down, right? And I don't want to lose the profit, so that's where I put like my take profit on this
Right.
layer, right? But I'm looking for it to not kind of cross that. And if it does cross that, I don't want it just to kind of poke its head down and then bounce the other way, right? So just trying to build into a couple base layers, is what I call them, for hopefully it breaks through. It breaks above this. If it breaks above that, then I think at some point it's going to find a place to go sideways. I just don't know where that is. But I mean, it could run up and touch that and continue to run some more. And if it does that, then I'm set up for that. But I'm also looking for a place for a consolidation. If I can get a consolidation, I can probably do pretty good. So if we do get it to hold here and breaks this here, then I'll move my secured trade and secured this other layer right here.
Again, you're looking for a 50% retracement of that candle, maybe?
Probably. I'm looking for, like I said, maybe some consolidation in here. If it fails to give us that 50%, which it's doing right now. So I'm looking, I'm just, there you go. It crosses that. I'm just going to give you that 100% retracement. And I'll probably buy into this with a take profit. That. Oh boy. All right, I gotta go grab my dog. He's stuck. Hold on.
So did you take a loss on that leg, or how'd you do it? Can you hear me?
Let his dog in.
Oh.
Again.
Let's mess this up.
Okay, so what's happening? What's going on? What did I miss?
Did you take a loss on that one leg, or how did you handle it?
Here?
The whole big run up for the last 20 minutes. Did you take losses on it, or how did you handle it?
I did take a loss on my sells, and then I just took profit on my buys secured, but then obviously I think I'm gonna do this.
I'm just patiently grabbing 4 pips at a time wherever I see it. I'm almost back at break even now. Like break even for the whole leg because it's come back about 40%.
Start making profits. Some profits in the bank. Just wherever I can get them. Hoping that we get some consolidation somewhere. I just like playing consolidations. It's just a little easier to. That's like my favorite market condition. Is just a consolidation wobble. When it does this kind of stuff, and it breaks up, 20 pips. It's like it should stop, and then it doesn't. It kind of ignores it. It usually is followed by the same kind of reaction, but at some point it does start to get into consolidation. Like this right here, over here is what I'm looking for. Haven't really had, I guess he had a little bit right there, but for the most part, it's been just kind of these up and down runs. Mm-hmm. Hit my action point. I'm just looking for where is the next profit. So right now, it's kind of a coin toss if you're hunting for just small pip gain, because you got the wicks coming on the top, wicks coming on the bottom. You definitely have this upward pressure here. So just looking for maybe just a little bit of, this would be probably a good place to just look for like 3 pips to take profit. Just looking for the little tiny profit, because you don't know what direction it's going to really break to. Or it's a good place to sit on your hands and wait for confirmation.
This is what I bust out of a 1 minute chess game.
It's just kind of like, what should I do? There's not really anything that says, hey, take this, right? Unless we get a cross of this on a body cross or this on a body cross. So I'll be waiting for right now. And there's just not enough consolidation to be taking pips. Stop. Let's see if we get that body hold, but it's kind of early in the candle. So we just kind of faded that candle. Uh-oh. Pops, I'm worried about you. We're going to have a trading intervention. Just saw that comment. You traded all night long. That to me, we got to do a couple welfare checks on you. Don't feed into it, guys. Don't feed into it. He should be sleeping. He's an old man. He needs his sleep.
I don't know. Look like you paying for your losses this morning.
Hey, or what? What's his percent right now?
What's your percent gain?
Well,
He doesn't know. He doesn't.
6.3.
Oh, right now it's
Yeah.
6.3.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not trading right now. I hate this market.
Yeah, it's not my favorite market for sure.
It's doing what it's doing.
Yes, it is doing what it's doing.
Kind of like that old song about the gambler. Know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to run, know when to walk away.
I think it's
So what
just
is
same range from London late morning, like 4 hours ago.
what did you trade in last night? Just this stuff right here?
Yeah. Yeah. Up until the the news 6:30, and then I kind of bailed.
So you were buying into a lot
Yeah.
of buys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. But you do need your sleep.
Well, I can't see anything going on here, so I'm out of here.
That's good. I mean, you shouldn't just make sure you're just not over trading.
Oh, I didn't do it to trade. I just couldn't sleep. It's weird.
I think we've all had plenty of sleepless nights due to trading.
Yeah. I could have walked away from trading. I just couldn't sleep. So why not trade?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to bounce.
All right, Pops, go get
Okay,
your
bye.
beauty sleep. I like that. Jen says sleepless nights because of bad trading. I'd love the night where I go to bed, or I don't go to bed for good trading.
The importance of the Sino-Japanese relations has not changed and will not change.
What are we listening to? The speech? Is that what we're listening to, Doug? Is that what you have on? Yeah, there's a difference, Remy, for sure. You were trading because you couldn't sleep, or you couldn't sleep because you were trading. That's the question. Yes, I would much rather be awake all night because you're killing it in trading than trying to recover trading. That's totally different mindset, right? Cool.
This stream is sponsored by TickStrike. TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures.
Oh, we're listening to ads now?
Get a free trial at tickstrike.com.
This video is not sponsored. Is that, Doug, is that your way to push an affiliate offers on us? Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's gone. All right. Since he's gone, I'm muting his computer. Wow. So we're getting into a little pinch point here. Looks like for sure. Pinch point city.
If that happens, what are you expecting?
I was hoping, well, you can see obviously on the one that we're getting into this little wedge here, right? It's just going to break out of the wedge. I'm hoping I'm on the right side of that break.
Well, there's a W on the 5. That means anything this morning.
Cool. Or Patricia likes those W's.
Are you expecting upwards because it's a pennant, or are you looking more towards the head and shoulders?
I don't know. I am at this point, I'm trying to figure that out. But when you get a wedge on top of the W, it could shoot higher. But you also, and we're also up at the bottom of this range that we just kind of crossed over on the 5-minute chart. I don't see it going past this, but if we could get another 10 pips to the high side, I'll take it. But that's if I'm putting my bets, that's where I'm putting it, but I'm still not like, nothing's telling me that this is a high probability trade setup and I should stack in. So I'm still light because I could see it just going the other way too, right? So there's like, I'm building a case in my head with all the information that says it should go this way or should it go this way. And I don't have enough more evidence to support buys in my head than I do to support sells. I got more, a little bit more, but it's not strong, if that makes sense. So I'm still just kind of keeping it light until we get confirmation of something. And sometimes
What's usually a good, strong tipping point is the trend. What is the trend coming when it comes to
Sure.
this situation?
And the trend has a lot to do with it, right? Your trend, your channels. That's what's causing me pause on buys, because you got this downtrend. We're at the top of the channel, but we're also at this support area as well, right? And it's coming into a wedge. And normally when you see a wedge and it breaks, those can potentially be trend breakers. Do you see that? And so that's why I'm like, I'm looking at all this information and saying, I just don't have a good feel for it either way, because it could potentially be a trend breaker, or it could say, you know what, we're going to continue, right? When you get into a wedge or, you know, flag type situation. So I'm just keeping it light on my buy layers, but I'm not holding on as if I'm not going to hold on as if it's going to get a breakout. If I get profit, you know, which I just had, I would take it and recycle. So I'm not just going to sit here and hold for that move. But if it does break high, if it breaks high, I'd rather be here on my trades. If it breaks low, I'd rather be like here on my trades. Probably not here, because it's going to break it. If it breaks out of this, it'll go there. So it's just, for me, this is difficult to read. For you guys, maybe you have a better, more of a, absolutely it's going to go this direction. So I'm just looking to peel off a little bit of profit somewhere. It's very wicky. The wicked wicks.
Wiggy.
The willy wicked wicks. Yeah, no bias for me. That's, I'm like, it's kind of not giving me a lot of help. And you guys aren't either. Let's do a community poll. What is it going to go higher or lower? What do you think?
Higher.
Off this, is it going to break to the high side or the low side? Like, see, after it's kind of winding up.
I mean, I kind of think high because the W, they're at the support.
That's the challenge, Dave. Let's do that challenge. Who's going to go higher? Who's going to go lower?
The challenge. All right.
Oh, Kali said lower.
If we get, somebody's going to be right. I like,
barring any announcement. I don't obviously see any.
Hobble Wobble. That name just makes me think of Thanksgiving. It's probably going to move strongly from here. I love the confidence. And when it moves, it'll move. Yeah, that I am sure of. So it's just kind of, in my mind, what's happening is that the spring is tightening up, right? Spring's tightening up, and it'll break either way, and it'll break a good.
Those highs are lower each time.
They are, and you do have some wick pressure coming in, but yeah, I got wick pressure here too, right? So it is difficult to say. So I'm not like strong in a position, and if I can find profit, I'll take it. And sometimes you just get markets like this that are just kind of watching paint dry for a minute. And then it breaks. I don't know if I trust that as a break. It's just more of a test right there. So you get that test from that low, generally means it could come back and at least come back 50%, if not more, just kind of playing that consolidation. I thought we would have gotten that break to happen by now, just because usually you get that pinch point, and it did kind of break out of that, but it still hasn't broken this box. So advice to everybody, going back to what I was talking about yesterday, if this is the type of market that you don't feel comfortable trading, don't trade it. Right. And right now it's kind of feeling that way for me. It's just not my favorite market. It's not easy to pick up profit either way. So I'm just kind of been siphoning profit here or there. Looking for opportunities to get gains. No, Nick, this is not the consolidation I was looking for. I asked for it, though. I guess I asked for it. Can I get larger price cycles? You go from the consolidation that I would hope for would have been, I just don't trust. I don't trust this as a consolidation. That's the problem. But I guess now that you're looking at it, I was thinking, well, it was definitely forming a wedge instead of consolidation. Now it could be into that consolidation. It's just changed its formation on me real quick. Let's kind of look into that. See what it's doing over here on the 5. Oh, my goodness. Like, why am I losing money here? I did it again. Are you kidding me?
What do
This
you do?
is so frustrating.
What do you do?
Oh, I thought I was in buys right here, but subconsciously I put sells on because it's in the wrong place. And I'm like, why am I losing? So hopefully he doesn't follow me.
And that's why I'm losing.
That really frustrates me. Because I'm like, okay, it's so hard to flip back and forth. Yeah, what a noob. It's so hard to flip back and forth when I'm just want to trade. Like, I don't think about it. I've been doing it for so long, for so many years, with my buys and my sells on the wrong side. Khalid, can you fix that?
Right.
So that I can mess up everyone else.
Well, I thought we were going to follow the rules. So I'm like, maybe this is level 10 where he's putting a sale on that there.
I'm like, why am I losing?
It is on the same side like Albion.
No, it's not.
On the left side, you sell. On the right side, you buy. That's how
if that's true, then I'm going to be.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That's how I made it.
So why? No.
What do you mean, no?
On Albion, it's on the right for buy and left for sell.
And that's what it is here.
Yeah, it matches. It's totally right what they're saying.
Okay, so what am I doing?
Wrong thing.
Being a noob.
Let me
I've done this so many times.
okay.
I've done this so many times, and I never have done this for years.
Let me give you a little mnemonic device here. Just remember that when you look at your profit chart, you want it to go from the lower left to the upper right. So the button to go down is on the left, and the button to go up is on the right. Newbie?
This doesn't help, Doug.
So on the very,
That was a great explanation, Greg.
That's how you want your profit chart to go, down on the left, up on the right.
Thanks, Doug. Anybody else want to? Anybody want to take over for me today? Oh,
so
my
on
goodness.
the wait on the
Oh, my
very
goodness.
beginning we had the problem that the buttons on the upper left side of the screen overlapped and they were reversed. So that's when we would click and then have the opposite done, as I remember on the very first version of Prodigy.
Patricia, if you're trying to make me feel better, thanks, but it's not.
It's not working. So cool. Tell him the truth. What would be?
Yeah, tell me the hard truth, man.
Right, tell him the truth.
Oh man,
Challenge. He was putting the challenge out there.
I mean, I'm just glad I wasn't following.
Hey, today's challenge for everybody is you got to trade with your eyes closed.
Good one.
This will be the best place to put buys on. And if you guys follow me, you're probably wondering what the crap is he putting sells on, because it is the worst place to put sells on.
I didn't follow you on that one, buddy.
Okay, good. And nobody called me out on it. Thanks, guys.
We thought you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I did too. Until I looked down and I'm like, why am I losing?
I was like, I'm going to need an explanation of this one once I see that profit.
Yeah, it's not that I'm frustrated on this. I'm frustrated because I've done that multiple times in the past couple of weeks. My biggest one was on the non-farm that we had in November, where it shot down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fade that. And it came all the way down here. And I'm like, got into a bunch of what I thought were buys, but I stacked into a bunch of sells right here off of that. And the news just went back and I'm like, why am I losing $100? I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh man. All right. Nothing better than doing that in front of a bunch of people. Like I said yesterday, my dad had the opportunity to blow up a demo account live and he learned from it. So I better learn from my noob mistakes, guys. You're supposed to buy when it's low and sell when it's high. Okay, guys, that's the rule today.
I guess we put a, are you sure you want to buy confirmation box?
Yeah. Khalid, get on that. Are you really, for me, this is the Dave script. Are you sure? Are you really sure?
Maybe something that says this looks crazy. Are you sure?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm colorblind. Maybe that's what it is. And Alvio, you got do you have the Yeah, you have the two different colors, but I don't know. I'm looking for excuses and I have none. So I'm going to say this is my bad.